Yeah. Woo-hoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. And my brothers and sisters, we have a new moon happening today, a new moon in Aquarius. These are some quantum shifts, some quantum realizations, and boy, oh boy, does this new moon pack a very powerful punch. Perhaps you've already been feeling this new moon coming. It's been quite an interesting journey and ride so far 2020. So many things seemingly have already happened, but most of the big, major, monumental changes have occurred on the inside. But then when we look at the external, it's hard to encapsulate it in words. And truth be told, this new moon is hard to encapsulate in words. We have this new moon in Aquarius at 4 degrees. We also have Mercury here in Aquarius at 13 degrees. 1 plus 3 equals 4. So we have some synchronicity there. And we have other energies as well. We have Venus also at 13 degrees of Pisces, mind you. 1 plus 3 also equals 4 right there. So already we have a lot of planets at this quantum degree that nets to a 4, which in numerology actually goes back to the Uranus energy and the Aquarius vibe. So this is a very pure new moon that we're getting. Now, what is Aquarius? Of course, Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius is the humanitarian, wants to help out the world, but at the same time retreats. It is this mad scientist within all of us. It is this energy within all of us that does want to rebel, but rebel for hopefully a good cause, hopefully for the people. And that's just sort of the thing. This is a moment where this new moon is like, there can be a potential to outsource too much of our power because we're so concerned about the collective. Aquarius does rule the collective. We can be so concerned about the collective and what everyone else is doing that we forget about our own journey. We forget that we're all humans in this. We all are going through this human experience. And sometimes we'll look at other people and we'll be like, I can't do what they do because, you know, we kind of make them and paint them to be superheroes. And the weird thing about a superhero is that once you become a superhero, it's like you can't do any wrong. And if you do something wrong, your name gets slandered. And there's this sort of cancel culture that goes along with being a superhero, that once you achieve a certain level of success, a certain level of morale, suddenly you're not allowed to do any wrong. And this new moon here is certainly, like I said, I'm at a loss of words because it's hard to encapsulate it. We got to consider something, guys. We don't have a lot of planets in the first 6 signs of the zodiac, right? We have, of course, Chiron in Aries, so at the beginning of Aries, mind you. We also have Black Moon Lilith in Aries. We have Uranus in Taurus, which is already, Taurus being one of the slowest moving signs. And Uranus doesn't like to be there. We don't have any Gemini, nor those in Cancer, no Leo, no Virgo, no Libra, no Scorpio. It's not until you get to Sag where you see a lot of these energies, where you have Mars there. And then, of course, we have the stellium still going on in Capricorn with Saturn, Pluto, the South Node, and Jupiter. So that's the thing about this energy. If you happen to be a denizen who has your sun, moon, or rising in the first 6 signs of the zodiac, it may be kind of hard for you to comprehend what this new moon is about. If you're in the last 6 signs, it may be a little bit easier, but really only Aquarius and Pisces know what's going on. Capricorn kind of knows what's going on, but they're so caught up with having Pluto in their sign, Saturn in their sign, the South Node there, and Jupiter, that they're not really worried too much about the collective. They're worried about their own self. Aquarius and Pisces, though, on the other hand, we have the sun and the moon in Aquarius and Mercury, and then, of course, we have Neptune in Pisces, and Venus is there as well. So they are getting this new moon on an interesting level because they realize that it's very subtle and very etheric. And of course, when you have new moons, this is a time of planting seeds, right? And they usually are very quiet. Not a lot's happening during the new moon, usually, right? We're planting seeds during this time. And there can be this expectation that when we plant these seeds, something's supposed to immediately manifest. But that's not the case. You have to give things time. This is where the pressure from Capricorn energy comes in, because we have the South Node here. We have Jupiter here, which is winning course to expand upon this area of life, expand upon our sense of worth and how that relates to the public, career, finance, trying to climb the mountain, so to speak. But of course, you have Saturn and Pluto here, there's a lot of karma that we're having to sift through. Pluto is destroying things left and right. So it hasn't exactly been the easiest time. Things seem slow, albeit this month has flown the fuck by. We're almost at February, guys. We're almost at February. I think it's crazy, too, with this new moon in Aquarius, of course, synchronized with the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the rat. Rats are ingenious. They're intelligent. They're kind of cunning in a sense. It kind of gives you a bit of a Five of Swords kind of energy, maybe even a little bit of Seven of Swords kind of energy. If you don't know the story of the Chinese zodiac and how it came to be, essentially the emperor had a race between these animals. And essentially the placing that the animals finished determined when the new year would begin. So the Chinese New Year, are actually starting a new cycle here, because the rat is the first animal of the Chinese zodiac, right? What's interesting, though, is that the rat didn't actually run the race. He hid on the ox. The ox finished second in the race, but the rat, at the last minute, jumped off the ox and finished first. Very cunning, kind of underhanded a bit. So right now, there can be this sort of sense of underhandedness, where it's sort of like, not necessarily that you may be doing this to other people may be doing this to you, but really this is happening at a quantum level, where you'll have these voices come in and try and undermine you in a sense. But here's the thing about the rats too. Like I said, they're very intelligent. The military uses rats to scope out different things, to scope out mines, because they're too smart to trip off these mines. So similarly, you can use this energy to where you can navigate life, and there are potential mines that can go off depending upon how much weight is put on them. But if you kind of take on this persona of the rat in a sense, then you can actually detect potential landmines before they even set off. And you can warn other people, or you can warn yourself, you can warn your future self of what to potentially divert and go around. Interesting thing about the rat and the mouse is that it's actually a totem animal of Capricorn too. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It's this sort of like I said, it's this energy. A lot of times in these cartoons, you actually will see rats as the boss. I think it was in, what movie was it in? Was it in Sing? That movie where all the animals were like singing or whatever like that and stuff. It was like I can't remember exactly who the main character was. I think he had like some sort of theater or whatever like that. He was trying to save his theater. And there are rats actually in the movie that were, I think they were kind of like bosses or something like that. Maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe it was Zootopia. I can't quite remember. But there was a movie where there were rats that were dressed up in suits and they were like the boss. And Capricorn is the boss. So this is about taking control of our own life. This is about having the integrity to accept where we have made mistakes, but also move forward. And as I've said, this new moon in Aquarius is giving all of us an opportunity to reconnect to our family. And when I say family, I mean our family, our body, because our body is the combination of trillions upon trillions of cells working together to keep us moving, forward. And this is the first family that we need to take care of. This family right here. And when things happen on a quantum level, it happens in a very subtle realm, so to speak. So we have Mercury here, the planet of communication at 13 degrees, 1 + 3 = 4. So once again, we get back to that Uranus Aquarius-like energy. So it's like we're getting whispered, like our cells are talking to us. Our cells are talking to us. right? And you can talk to your cells. One of the things that I like to do is in my spare time, or just when I'm in a good mood, whatever like that. I will dance and I'll sing music. I'll just be singing and stuff like that. But it's like my entire body is singing and dancing. I like to envision myself almost as like a DJ, right? And I'm uplifting the vibration of my entire body, and I'm like singing and dancing with all of the cells in my being. I like to envision this, and it actually helps to lift my vibration. It's a pretty cool exercise. I highly, highly encourage it. Highly, highly encourage it. So we're now, of course, wanting to communicate this whole new world that we're stepping into, this age of Aquarius. We got to remember the last time that we had a new moon in Aquarius last year, it was coming right after the full moon lunar eclipse in Leo. Despite the fact that the nodes have shifted into Cancer and Capricorn respectively, they were at the later degrees of those signs. So we still had that full moon in Leo, which was at 0 degrees, mind you, right? The new moon was at 15 degrees, so right in the middle. But the ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, was in Aries. Now Uranus is in Taurus and happens to be squaring this energy. Now, of course, squares usually bring up challenges, potential complications, hurdles that we need to overcome. But the cool thing about this is that there's some mutual reception here. The moon loves to be in Taurus. Uranus loves to be in Aquarius. So even though they're kind of in each other's zone, they're able to kind of work together and help us to overcome any type of challenges when it comes to navigating, this Aquarius kind of energy, navigating people, navigating the collective, realizing, what our collective is, navigating our own collective energy, cells, organs which play music, right? This is a huge moment. And we have 4 energy elsewhere. We have Mars at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, so it does have a number 4 in it. Saturn's at 24 degrees of Capricorn, which also has a 4 in it. And what's funny about this is, you have Mars at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. So we are definitely wanting to take action on what inspires us. We're wanting to take action as far as like expanding our knowledge and wisdom of the world. The 1 is the Sun and Leo energy, and the 4 is Aquarius energy next to a 5, which is Mercury. Where's Mercury? Aquarius. Bam. Look at that. We have Saturn, the 2, which is the moon and Cancer energy, and we have the 4, which is Aquarius energy next to a 6. 6 energy is Libra, and then where the ruler of Libra, Venus, happens to be in Pisces, getting closer to Neptune. If this is getting a little like in there and complicated and a little, just bear with me here. Because when we look at Venus from this aspect, Venus is at 13 degrees. So it all comes back to Aquarius. Everything seems to come back to Aquarius energy. Everything seems to come back to this quantum massive shift that we are going through. Everything seems to come back to it. The other thing I want to know is that the black moon Lilith is actually at 3 degrees of Aries and Chiron's at 2 degrees of Aries, effectively making a sextile over to this new moon. Now, sextiles bring opportunities, but every opportunity that comes our way, we don't necessarily take it. And since it's at Aries, the only thing that can really hold ourselves back with this new moon, setting these new intentions and beginning this new cycle, is ourself. The fear to be ourself amongst the collective. The fear to overcome past traumas, faults, mishaps. That is what's going to hold us back, is ourself. It's not anyone else. These energies are in Aries. So it's about the self. It's about the persona. In many ways, it's about our ego. And I think we can all admit that our egos have been severely fucking bruised. But we can actually exalt the ego. We like to bash the ego so damn much. But we can actually exalt the ego to come into a greater expression of itself, a more high vibrational expression of the ego. But right now, the only thing that's really going to hold us back is our own damn self. Because we have this fear that if we do something or put ourselves out there, that we're going to get hurt again. And you probably will get hurt again, to be truthful. But that doesn't mean that you still shouldn't go for it. I actually heard an interesting quote over the past 24 hours that pain doesn't hurt. We feel pain and we hurt, but pain itself doesn't hurt. It just is. So this is a moment where we can kind of take the pain that we have felt and we can alchemize it and realize that it's actually for our healing, and how good things can come through hard times, traumas, and how we don't have to let our fears overcome us. I'm even thinking of another thing, an episode of Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, the original Teen Titans, that was actually amazing, where Raven, who happens to be my favorite character in the show, there was this episode where essentially her psychic powers were pretty much causing this whole nightmare to overcome Titan's Tower. And how she even said, I'm afraid. She kept telling herself, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. And then she realized, she had this epiphany. She was like, I am afraid. But that doesn't mean I can't fight. That doesn't mean I can't fight. So similarly for you, you may be afraid to take that leap of faith. You may be afraid to hop into that relationship or pursue that relationship or hop into that career path. And it's okay to be afraid, but you don't have to let that define you. And that doesn't mean that you can't fight back, beloved. This new moon is kind of hard to put in words because there's just so much that's going on with it. And it's at such a high vibration with the Aquarius vibe and all these energies in the later signs of the zodiac that really you kind of have to experience it for yourself. So take time today to meditate, to pause, to reflect, journal. Journaling will be very helpful because Mercury is at this 13 degrees of Aquarius. And just kind of, feel it out. But like I said, you don't have to be afraid anymore, beloved. It's our response to pain that hurts. Yes, absolutely. It's our response to pain that hurts. And I want to even look up just real quick what the elements of this, because every year, you get a new zodiac for the Chinese zodiac, but they also have elements. For example, I'm born in the year of the goat, and particularly the metal goat. So let's see what element, let's see, Chinese New Year rat element. What is the element of this one? Oh wow, is it really? No way. That's so interesting. So the first thing that came up was metal, which would be so interesting. Okay, let's see. Let me just make sure. 2020. This is the year of the metal rat. This is the year of the metal rat. So let me read to you all this description, or it says fortune here. So the year of the metal rat. These rats tend to be reliable and live a stable life. They may hold some power and are able to turn unlucky events into fortune. Bam! Able to turn unlucky events into fortune. This is incredible. And if you happen to be a metal of any sign, and you can easily just look this up on Google to see what elements you happen to be. But this is actual alchemy here. This is actual alchemy. Being able to turn unlucky events into fortune, having this stability and this reliability. Look at where Uranus is, arguably the most stable sign of the zodiac. We are turning lead into gold, or silver or copper or whatever like that, whatever your level is and stuff like that. They're all useful, but we are turning lead into gold, right? This is going to be a year where if you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, despite what you may be afraid of, let's be real. Fear is probably never going to go away. All right, it's never going to go away. But the only thing to fear is really fear itself, right? That's the only thing that really holds you back. You may be afraid to do something, but then you do it, you overcome it, right? So this is going to be a year where it's like, if we overcome our fears, by overcome doesn't mean that we still don't fear them, but we fight back anyways. We be ourselves unapologetically anyways. We put ourselves out there anyways. And we don't necessarily worry about the people we're going to attract, because Aquarius is going to bring those people into your life anyways. Uranus is going to help to bring those people into your life that truly value you, that truly see how powerful you really are and how valuable you are, how your value is really infinite to society. This is going to be a year where we actually have a great ability to turn lead into gold, any situation that we have. And yes, it may take some time. It's not going to necessarily be an overnight process, but I believe in you. I believe in myself. I believe in you, beloved. So let's just draw a card here real fast. Let's just draw a card. Let's see what we have going on. I'm using my tarot deck, Cosmic Tarot. I just got this. How appropriate for a new moon in Aquarius to be using the Cosmic Tarot. I'm going to just draw one tarot card, and then I'm going to draw one oracle card. Okay. Then we're going to get out of here. No, I haven't made a video in a while. I've been kind of going through some like interesting changes and just having to take some personal responsibility for things and just, you know, admitting that I can't do it all alone. So I need to actually have the courage to reach out to people and not be afraid to be vulnerable and stuff. And of course, I'm vulnerable on the channel and all that sort of stuff, but as far as like in my actual, like, you know, outside the internet and stuff like that, I need to learn how to be more vulnerable and put myself out there. So let's see what we got, guys. Let's see what we got. So the tarot card that we have, wow. Guys, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is an individual, a woman who is solid in who she is, solid in her beliefs. She knows her power. She knows her worth. She knows it. And she just goes out there and she bees herself unapologetically. Look at that. She has the nice bird there chilling with her. I'm guessing that's like a glass of wine or something like that she has on the table with the grapes. This is about turning water into wine. She's able to turn water into wine. Or wine into water. Shoot. That'd be a cool magic trick, right? Let's get an oracle card. New moons, start anew. We're going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to say anything about that card because it's very self-explanatory. And plus, the answer is simple, so I don't want to complicate the answer. That is going to be your video for the new moon in Aquarius. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, I appreciate all of the continued support from all of my current subscribers and viewers. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome. I know you will be. I love you all so much. I will see you all very, very soon on the next video. Probably going to be bringing back the podcast. I know I haven't done the podcast in a while, but I think it's time to bring back the podcast. So be on the lookout for that. It may be coming rather soon. So anyways, I love you all so much. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.